He stood with his eyes shut, a solitary figure incongruous in this landscape of endless fields, big sky, and fast-moving river, its reeds waving in the endless breeze. This place was etched deep in his memory. He'd seen it every time he closed his eyes, all the time he'd been away. Now he wanted to absorb the other aspects of the place, use his other senses to take in the sounds and smells of his native fens, and devour them. He breathed deeply, inhaling the aroma of damp grass, the hint of wild chamomile, the scent of sweet clover, the slight tangy whiff of diesel oil coming from a boat or possibly a tractor, and, seeping through it all, the salty ozone drifting up from the wash. He sighed deeply, almost painfully, and then listened. The first sound was the call of the skylark somewhere above, the song continuing for maybe 2 minutes, a cascade of notes, an endless refrain, no phrase ever repeated, the song of freedom. He felt a tear forming, but he refused to open his eyes and allow it to escape. He listened again, and this time heard the hushed breeze from the river, the tiny trickles of water as it lapped against the muddy bank. He heard a murmur of engine noise, almost too far away to identify, but undoubtedly farm machinery of some kind, and seagulls, their mournful cry suddenly replaced by the echoing, peeping noise of a lone avocet. How he'd missed this. He opened his eyes and stared at the vista laid out before him, along with every sensory gift it had to offer. There had been days and nights when he doubted that he'd ever see this place again. The temptation to end it all had sometimes been almost overpowering. He would never have believed that he had the strength in him, but he had found it and come through. He had survived. Now he was back. He wiped his eyes, the earlier emotion fading, and a new one slowly taking its place like a seedling forging its way up to the light. He had not been to blame for his lost years, but someone had, and that someone needed to be taught a lesson. Karma. It was only right. What goes around comes around. Or as his father used to say, sow the wind, reap the whirlwind. For the first time in years, he smiled. How apt this was. And he would prove it.